Well, good morning, YouTube. Arizona RE here. And we are entering Saguaro National Park. How you like that for a caution sign? Look at that. Wow. So portions of this park were donated over the years from various landowners who laid claim. And as a result, the National Park Service has tried to preserve as much of it as they can. But as odd as it is, every once in a while out here, different areas, you'll see remnants of ranch homes or wells that have been dug. So it's kind of interesting, the idea that they're keeping it pristine for the desert life, but it still has its human impacted history out here. Anyway, not to talk you to death, just enjoy the looks. Oh yeah, keep looking out to the desert. Oh, I got your shadow too, perfect. Got it. It's a fun little part. I remember this. I'm going to pull in right here. I think I'm going to get out and walk a little bit too. The creosote is in bloom. You can probably hear the bees buzzing around it. Creosote, or chaparral, as it's also known, is pretty robust out here in the desert. Regularly referred to as jumping cactus. This cholla right here comes in many forms. It's also called teddy bear because some of the other ones have really gold looking, long, spindly, almost furry and soft looking spines, but they don't. Many times it's referred to as jumping cactus because you can see the way the fruit and the arms are sort of clustered here together, and if it's bumped or a stiff wind blows, you can see on the ground here below it pieces of it sitting on the ground. With those pieces right there that have fallen, many times they become hitchhikers to other items or animals or things like that that are going by. So they call it jumping cactus. It's often referred to as that. Over here you see what happens at the end cycle of a saguaro cactus. Saguaro cactus live for hundreds of years, and this one right here, this is the skeleton still standing of a huge and majestic saguaro cactus. This thing has to be about, I don't know, 30 feet tall. Here's your close-up of a baby saguaro cactus. This one's about 7.5 feet tall. This is a mesquite tree. You can see the thorns and you see these blossoms here, these pods. They will eventually turn into mesquite bean pods, which are edible and natively have been consumed for a long time. The syrup that these trees produce gets turned into honey and a natural sweetener. And in addition to that, the bean pods, a lot of times if you'd like a mesquite flavoring or mesquite smoked flavor to your food, a lot of people will collect the bean pods and soak them in water, wrap them in foil, poke holes in them, and toss them on the coals in their grill, and that way they don't have to burn mesquite wood in order to get the mesquite flavor. Of course, you've heard that you can cut a cactus open and get water out of it. And while you could hack into something like a saguaro, you're not going to find a puddle of water in there like you see in the cartoons. Instead, you'd be better off trying to find one of these prickly pears that isn't quite covered in spines like this, chopping the fruit or chopping the pads open and simply sucking on them for moisture. But you're not going to get enough to survive, not really. But these plants are edible. Many folks in Mexico, they will make like a stir fry with them, and they're called nopalitos, which are, basically small cactus. Beautiful. So an interesting thing about these saguaro cactus, the cacti itself is indigenous to the Sonoran Desert, which is where southern Arizona is located. The Sonoran Desert extends into Mexico, parts of New Mexico, and all of Arizona. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? So it's ironic and it's funny, to those of us that live in southern Arizona, that when you go to places like Texas, especially places like East Texas, but when you go to places like Texas or you go to places like Utah and stuff like that, someone will put up a keychain will have a saguaro cactus on it or something like that. And it's like, excuse me, but Utah's not known for their saguaro cactus. In fact, they don't grow there. So it's just kind of funny. If you go to Texas and you buy a keychain that says Texas, and it doesn't have a picture of an Alamo on it, or doesn't have a big old star, but more importantly, if it has a picture of a saguaro cactus, it's just a gimmick, folks. Man, it is beautiful. Look at this. So much beauty in the desert. Folks, thanks for watching. I'll close out with some of the crazy pictures I took today. Please enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, and go and watch all my other crazy videos. Got lots of them. One of my very first videos that I posted on YouTube with this motorcycle was this park. So you guys should go watch that. I was still cutting my teeth on the multiple camera angles and using free software like Microsoft Movie Maker. Try doing picture-in-picture and multiple cameras in Microsoft Movie Maker on a 4-year-old computer, a 5-year-old computer. It's not that easy, and that's what I was doing. So go and have a look at that, and thanks for joining me on this ride. I'll talk to you soon. I saw it, and I'm gonna get it. Folks, I saw this, and I get to get it now. And I just barely saw one out of the corner of my eye. There it is. Look at this little bitty cactus and how hard it's blooming.